Hello,
Back.
everybody.
Hey, how you
Hello.
doing?
Hey, doing well, doing well. Coming to you live. This is so exciting. It's my first live show.
It is,
Oh,
yes.
nice. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Super.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Yeah,
Yes.
thanks so much.
Cool.
Yes. So really, let's talk about what really this like launch really is.
Yeah. So Generative BI, we announced this new set of capabilities that's coming to Amazon Quicksight. And we actually did this back in July, the New York AWS Summit. We said, hey, we've got a great set of things that we're bringing for authors who build dashboards and reports. We've got another set of things we're bringing around what business users need in order to be able to tell compelling stories with data in order to drive decision making. So just last week, this is the news. Just last week, we announced that the authoring experience is now public preview, and it's available for everyone to try, as long as you're a Quicksight and Quicksight Q subscriber.
Quicksight Q. Is that the hot topic that we're going to be looking at?
Yeah, well, Quicksight Q is our natural language service in Quicksight. And so, as you all were saying, Quicksight is Amazon's general purpose BI service. And so, for folks who haven't heard of Quicksight before, Quicksight is very similar in terms of like its ability to process any kind of data that's structured to other tools you maybe have heard of in the past. Could be, Tableau or, Power BI. Those are things we commonly get compared to. And if you're looking around in all of the, trade rags and trying to see like what are the different kinds of services out there, you'll see us kind of poking around in the graphs, near those guys.
Yeah, I'd love to hear more about some of like the use cases that you've started to maybe see or expect customers to be able to see once they can start actually using this.
Yes. The thing about this is, natural language, and we've been just talking about this kind of all day here, but natural language is this new modality for people to interact. And I am very excited about this. Guys, I've been doing this for 24 years, been building software professionally at, places like Microsoft and, Tableau and some startup work and Salesforce. And so now, like, seeing these waves of things that have happened, because like I remember the dot-com bust. Like I remember when we had this like mobile revolution. It changed the way people interact with and understand the technology and like what could happen. And so I think this is what's happening now, is that we're introducing this new way to interact with technology, and it's really going to change what people can do. And so, yeah, I am very excited about this time. And I think use case wise, it's going to just change the way people do all kinds of work. So generative BI is a kind of a, you guys are asking like, is this a dad joke? What are you,
I love it. I love it.
It is true. It is one letter better. That is true. I didn't discover that until later, though. Full disclosure. Although maybe it was obvious. So what that means, though, is that so it turns out, and we saw this a little bit with the the embeddings that we were just looking at. These generative large language models are very good at certain things, and so like fundamentally, what they are is a text predictor. So they can say, hey, based on text that's come in the past, what text is likely to come in the future from like all these other things that I've seen. And so they're very good at language and like stringing things together and helping people feel understood and like maybe like bringing in different dimensionalities of information that you might not have thought about. They're not as good at math. Like this is not their strong point. And so this is why you see there are these other solutions out there. So it might be like code generation, where now you see these large language models can also generate SQL or Python or something else. And then they can go, run those somewhere and do some math. So a different thing you could do is plug it into an application like Quicksight, which is a BI tool that's very good at math and statistics. And so by bringing those things together, you get all the benefits and nice interactions of the sort of generative experience, but you get these statistics that are reliable.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. I would never have thought of it that way. That it's better at math than other services and stuff. That's kind of interesting. So with that, do you want to, Jillian? Should we dive in, or is there anything else we wanted to ask real quick?
James, I was hoping you would ask that question because I'm dying to see it.
That's what we're asking for. Yeah.
Let's see it.
Yeah, it's great.
Right.
I saw a little bit of it earlier. Sure.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna do a little demo here. So what we're looking at here is Quicksight analysis. So remember this: the set of capabilities available for preview right now is for people who are building dashboards and reports. So these are like data analysts, typically in an organization, and so they'll be real familiar with the idea of, hey, we've got field list over here, and we can use this canvas to build out our dashboard. And so right here at the top, there's this new entry point where you can ask Q to build a visual. And so remember, Q is our natural language service. And so here what it says is, hey, what do you want to visualize? Here's a kind of the range of your data. Here's some suggestions. Like you can look at, for example, distinct products or customers by segment. So it's giving you a sense of like what's in this data. We're going to ask about sales by city and product. And we can tell it exactly how we want to see it. So we're going to say as a map. So what this is going to do is it's going to connect to the data that I've got, that I've already sort of connected this analysis to, and automatically visualize it for me. And then I can just kind of one click, just add it to the analysis. So this is one. I'm going to show you a few examples here. We're going to build a little dashboard that's going to answer some questions. So you can see clearly, like we're making sales all over the world. So that's good in lots of different products. But I'm curious. I want to like just see how the business is going to go over time. So why don't we say, hey, forecast profit by month. And so it can do these kinds of lightweight analysis tasks for you, where it can go and it can say, hey, oh, well, this is, overtime data. So that's really good as a line. So let's show it that way. But also, since we have a history of the data, we can make a forecast and we can tell you where it might go. Now, when I add this to my analysis, what I notice here is that it's a little bit flat, right? So let's look into that a little bit. Let's see if we can figure out why profits are flat, or maybe like what we can do to change things. So I'm going to show you our second capability. So we looked at building visuals. Now we're going to build a calculation. And I want to know about the profit ratio. Now this is super easy to create. I just describe what I want to see using natural language. And I just say, hey, build profit ratio. So what it's going to do is it's going to go figure out, well, how is profit ratio calculated in a general sense in the broad world? And then it's going to go look at my data and it's going to say, well, what fields here might be the ones that would match for me to be able to do that? And it's going to automatically put them into the expression, which is a specific Quicksight expression. And so these expressions change from like service to service and experience to experience. And this way you don't have to learn or memorize the details of everything that's in here. So we're going to save that. And now that I've added that, I can just use it in the same way. So I could say, hey, well, show me profit. I'm having a hard time typing. I've got, so my laptop, you guys are like, hey, get your camera up a little bit. So I've got a box of Hawaiian Host chocolates and some Mauna Loa nuts. This raises my keyboard is way up here.
You're typing like a T-Rex.
Yeah,
that's like me. I have the way I have my setup too.
I just noticed that, Jillian. Yeah, I see your fingers like sliding, like up here.
Yeah.
So now this one, we're going to look at this as a scatter. So you were saying, I think, like how you visualize data is really important, which I think is true. And, you know, if we look at this, you can see as a scatter, it's very clear what these outliers are. So all of a sudden, I can tell that this contact matcher, the well-known social dating tool for work, is far up and to the left. And that's bad, right? Like this is a bad place to be. This is like a lot of sales and not very much profit. So meanwhile, down here on like way over on the right, like lots of profit, but not as much sales. This is alchemy. Oh man, you know, I mean, this, yes,
I have an idea of that. Yeah. Because I mean, if you're turning lead into gold, there's going to be a lot of profit and not much sales. So
it does seem like a profitable endeavor to do.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right. Well, one more thing. So that was our second capability, was being able to generate that calculation. And then of course they build on each other so you can use it. But I want to show you one more thing. So let's actually look into this profit question in the last visual. So here I'm going to say profits. Let's say, products with the most. Oh, worth the most. That's what I want to say. Worth. Yes. So I want to try to get my language here really precise, because like this is the kind of thing that people actually do, is that they just come up with random words for things. And so this idea of worth, like where is that? That's nowhere in the data, right? So what happened is that we're understanding, okay, what is the intent of worth? What might be things that fit this category of worth? And so you can see here, it came up with this idea of total sales. It says total sales, you know, that's how we interpreted what you meant by worth. But there's also a did you mean, because multiple parts of your data actually match that word. So it could be that you were talking about profit. And sure enough, I was. So it gives me an alternative question that more precisely targets specific data.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to add this to my analysis, and I'm going to show you our last capability, which is you can actually then refine these visuals to get a specific experience. So here in this builder, I just describe how I want it to look. So I'm going to say, hey, change to a table. And we're going to add a little bit more information. So add sales and region. And we want to get a sense of like what's going on with these profitability questions. So then we're going to say color profit from red to green. Okay. So this is me telling Quicksight, hey, just change the way this looks so that I can get the information I need in order to understand what's actually going on in my data. And you can see here right away, now I can tell, oh, aha, yes, alchemy, it's highly profitable, doing well in America. Contact matcher, there's something going on in APJ. Like that's it. That's where that sort of red is. And I apologize to all of my colorblind viewers, because I know red to green is a terrible color scale. Blue to orange is much easier for people to see. But that's what this is a very bright red to sort of make it clear that this is sort of an outstanding value. But there you go. So those are the three capabilities. You can you can build visuals, you can build calculations, you can refine the visuals to get these specific experiences. And by doing all these things, you know, pretty quickly here, I'm going to fit this to window just because I have a little bit of a small screen. Pretty quickly, we have an entire dashboard. We just did that live on air, and you know, now we can go and eat lunch instead of spending a lot more time building analytics.
Super cool. Yeah, I mean, and I think maybe one thing to clarify, because there was someone was asking about like what database warehouse are you using, but really, I mean, they can use their data set. That's, I think, the beauty of this, like where it's stored on AWS. Maybe you want to riff on that a bit.
Yeah, you can connect to anything with Quicksight. Think of like when you're in Excel and you want to import data and you can just connect to anything. That's exactly how this is. So it works with, of course, with like everything in AWS. And if you're using Aurora or Athena or, Redshift, I mean, there are a lot of people doing that. People are using Snowflake, people are using Databricks. They're using, flat files is really, really common.
Yeah, Jillian, I had the same when we were doing the prep. I had the same question, and then Zach was basically like, "It's Quicksight. Like nothing's changed really as far as getting your data sets in." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I mean it's so cool and innovative that I forgot like it's still Quicksight. Like if you have the skill set for Quicksight, this is just in addition. There's nothing super, that's changed. You're still
That's a
using the
good
same
call
product."
out.
Yeah, because I had the exact same question when we were getting ready for this. And I love it because I am not that great at Quicksight, and I can have a good idea of what I want to see, and I can just tell it what I want to see. I want to see all of my out of SLA tickets, that kind of thing, and I can just type it in, and then James, this is where you're behind. And I'm like, oh, oops.
Yeah,
That's right.
This is super cool. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, the other thing that sometimes people ask is like, how can I get this? This is very easily enabled. So you just click on your little people icon in the upper right-hand corner. You'll find there's a thing called the preview manager, and sort of teasing a little bit, there is something else coming. There is kind of a new experience for Quicksight that we will be able to kind of talk about in the not too distant future. And in addition to the things that we've announced, which is this authoring experience, the new generative storytelling experience, we are going to be announcing more things this year at reInvent.
Oh, nice.
Well, that's such a teaser. I can't wait to hear what it is that your team is going to be announcing. This was awesome. Thank you so much for being here on AWS On Air.
Yes, absolutely. Hey, I have one more fact I need to share with you guys.
Yes, one more fact. All right.
Which is that I'm currently in Hawaii, and I want people to know that there are 3 things that Hawaii produces that are very interesting. So like one is the fruits, because this is a mango. It's delicious. The mangoes are so good. But papayas, I think, are probably my favorite. Second is the coffee. Coffee is amazing.
Ooh, yeah.
And the third is, if you haven't seen this before, I'll just put this by my head so you can get a sense of like what the size of these are. This is an avocado. They are so big.
Oh my gosh.
They're delicious.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I'm from Southern California, and avocados are like just a daily thing. But like to make my guacamole, I use like 5. With that, I'd only need like 1. Like,
so
all right,
cool.
thanks everybody. Nice to see you.
Love the fun fact. Thank you.